right, let's see if we can get Dave up here on the screen. Dave, are you there?
I am. How are you?
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I can,
Yeah,
hello,
magic.
hello. You're coming to us from Montana, yes?
I am. Yeah, I'm in my home state of Montana, coming back after a day in Los Angeles where we had some big announcements yesterday.
I was going to say it's been quite a maybe what 72 hours for all of you.
Yes, it has been amazing whirlwind, but so much energy and excitement about our launch of experiences and services.
Yeah, so for anyone in the room who hasn't heard or seen Brian's talk, Airbnb has launched a new, I don't know, what do you call it? A new segment, a new way of doing business. First of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? And then I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Absolutely.
What'd you do?
Well, we're doing a couple things. One is we've launched services. These are incredible services that make your stay more special. And I'll talk about those in a minute. We have 10 categories of those. And then experiences. And these are amazing experiences hosted by locals that know the cities best. And so these are amazing experiences, high quality, interesting activities that people can do in cities all around the world. We've launched the services in over 250 cities and the experiences in over 650. And is a new chapter, right? We started trying to expand beyond stays. Back when I joined Airbnb back in 2019, Brian's always had this vision to do so much more. And COVID, we had to kind of shut it down and focus on what we know how to do well, which is stays. And so it's super exciting that we're here today talking about the expansion beyond the core and seeing it become a reality.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending upon what you're actually counting, this is probably the third or fourth time Airbnb has tried to launch experiences. Tell me, what's going to be different this time? Why is it going to work this time when it hasn't in the past?
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot about experiences over the last few years, and we learned that people really desire them, right? Especially even Asia travelers. We know that 85% of them have done experiences when they travel. They like these kinds of activities, but we need to make sure that they are unique, different, and of the city. And so what we've done is created these experiences by the world's most interesting people doing amazingly interesting things in cities all around the world. These are Airbnb originals. And we also have Airbnb experiences, but these experiences, it's not an open marketplace. We don't just let any experience onto Airbnb. We have dedicated people that are reaching out and finding experiences. You're showing on the screen some of these Airbnb originals. Like we have 17, the K-pop band as an experience. You just showed Megan Thee Stallion. We have some amazing iconic experiences, but we're also bringing them down to local people that know those cities best. Here, this is another experience that you can go, a ramen chef there in Tokyo. Like this man's a Michelin-starred chef. You can book on Airbnb and learn how to make ramen with some of the most iconic Michelin-starred chefs in Tokyo. So these are amazing experiences, but then there are others that are even just regular experiences, but they're high quality, and they're of the place. And so I think that's what's different, is that we don't just let any experience on Airbnb. We're only bringing out experience hosts that know the cities best and are going to bring the best quality experience to the guests.
So I went on the app last night.
Yeah.
It's not in Bangkok yet. Yes. Where in
No,
Asia
well,
can you
we're
find
still
it?
adding. So it's day one. We are in, like I said, 650 cities for experiences, and we're going to be expanding. We have tens of thousands of them. We're going to be expanding thousands in the coming months. And now, we'd love to be able to bring on more. So we do have some in Thailand, where we have some meditation experiences in Thailand. We do have some, but we need to add more. Absolutely.
Okay. 24 hours. I'll give you
Thank
that
you.
one. So,
And then services, services is a totally new area, right? This is
right.
10 categories of services that make your stay better, right? These are things like photography services, a chef service, a trainer. These are things that you haven't been able to have in an Airbnb. And many reasons why you might want to go to a hotel is you have a restaurant, you have a spa, you have a gym. Well, now you can bring the spa to your Airbnb. You can bring your personal trainer to an Airbnb. You can have prepared meals or a chef come to you. So now it's one more reason why an Airbnb is a better way to travel.
But this is really different though, because it doesn't have to be linked to your stay at an Airbnb. Is that correct? Like I
Yeah,
can
I love that you brought that up. Absolutely. You can
I
absolutely do
live
it in your
in
own.
yeah, I live in
Yeah, where do
Brooklyn,
you?
in New York. If I wanted to have somebody come and, give me a blowout, I could go on Airbnb and get it now, right?
Absolutely. I love
And
that you brought that up. I think that's a
that's
key unlock.
totally,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
that's totally new.
absolutely.
Where are
Absolutely.
you going to
And you
find
can
those
do it in
people?
your Airbnb, and you can actually also do it at the person's location. Like some of the fitness classes still might be better at the fitness studio, but we'll find one that's close to your Airbnb, close to where you're at, and you can go and have the fitness class, close by. So it can be in your Airbnb, in your own home. There's no app on the internet that's actually providing all of these services. And when we look at the 10 that we have, these are some of the most popular services that we know that people desire when they travel.
And so is Airbnb really trying to supplant like Fiverr, Uber Eats, let's see, who else? Get Your Guide. Like, is this an app for all of those type of services? Is that what you're trying
You
to
know,
do?
we're just trying to make sure that the stay is better. We're eliminating reasons why people wouldn't want to stay in Airbnb. And now imagine, actually, it's a really important point. Now when you go in the app, you can see the trips tab at the center bottom of the app. When you go onto the trips tab, you can see all of these in one place. You see your stay and you see the time of the stay on your itinerary. Then you can see the service that you might have booked. Then you can see the experience that you booked the next day. It's all in one place. It makes it easy to find, easy to know where to be when, and then it just makes the entire experience better. Just imagine how much better of a trip you're gonna have when you can have these iconic, interesting activities that are of the place that you're in.
So we're going to get to a couple other topics now, but
Sure.
for those of you in the audience, if you have any questions for Dave, please pull out the app, send them on over, and we will get to them closer to the end of the talk. So I want to talk a little bit about politics now. Everyone's favorite topic, certainly mine at the moment. What is Airbnb seeing from a lot of the, I don't know, destabilization, I suppose, throughout the world, especially with not only tariffs, but a lot of the geopolitical instability that has happened maybe over the past 3 months, both wars and conflicts, but also in the financial markets.
Yeah, well, one thing that's good, obviously, we're not selling the actual physical goods, so we don't have the direct
Right.
impact of tariffs. The biggest impact is maybe the macroeconomic impact,
Yeah.
what it takes for people, are they willing to travel? Some of the things we're just seeing is that people may delay the timeline of when they travel, so when there's more uncertainty, they will book their trips closer to when they actually are making those trips. But I think what you've seen is that Airbnb is just incredibly resilient in times of challenge. We saw this in COVID where, maybe people aren't traveling abroad on planes, but they're driving to a cabin near their home. And then as they feel more confident, they can go on planes, they cross borders and do more. So I think what we're seeing and what I'm excited about with services and experiences is we're trying to make these really approachable and affordable things, like you said, that you can do in your own hometown. Maybe you don't even need to travel and you can take an experience on a Saturday night and do something amazing. The average price is like $66. Or if you do a service and you're adding it, 50% of our services are under $50. So we want, in these times of economic uncertainty, to give them great value. And when Airbnb has a great location, amazing amenities, we think that we actually can benefit because the consumer is looking for that kind of choice, looking for that value.
We've heard anecdotally through our reporting that perhaps short-term rentals may benefit from some of the reluctance of people to fly overseas. Maybe they are traveling closer to home, maybe just getting in their car instead of getting on a plane. Are you seeing any of that?
Like I said, we saw it in COVID. People, when they want to travel, they are able to look at Airbnb because we have such a wide range of great value homes. It definitely does help us. One of the areas of opportunity also when people have economic challenge, it's also a reason why people start hosting. right? They actually
Yeah.
start hosting their home to earn more money. And in this case, we also think one of the most valuable assets people have is their time. And now we could actually see people hosting experiences, or maybe they're experts at specific services and they can actually do these to earn more money. So in these times of economic uncertainty, they can bring their time and energy to be hosts.
So you've said that Asia is really a key growth engine for Airbnb, but this is a notoriously fragmented region. Um, you've got Korea, India, Japan, outbound China. Where are you really focusing in the near term?
Well, you're right. We have to focus a little bit different in each of those areas, right? For China, which is one of the top 5 outbound travel markets, we focus on making sure that we support outbound Chinese travelers in the places they love to travel, like Korea and Japan. And we can highlight things like, K-pop bands like the 17, where, people can travel and people love to travel to some of these types of events. Or in Korea, where we need to make sure we show up locally. So that's why we've added like Naver as a login capability, or Naver Pay, and so we show up locally there. Or in Japan, where last year we launched our very first brand campaign in Japan. Very few people in Japan really know about Airbnb, so we've actually had to started to communicate it and talk to Japanese travelers that like to travel nearby, near their home, get away for the weekend, on why Airbnb is a special way to do it. And now we have a significant increase in the number of Japanese people that consider Airbnb as a way to travel. So we have different approaches in each community, and it's working really well.
So I know that Airbnb does a lot of traveler surveys. So you go out there, you talk to people,
Yeah.
want to get a real pulse on what they want. I'm curious what the biggest surprise has been for you, especially in the Asia market when you look at that data.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest surprise is just how resilient travel is and how
Mm.
much people are still willing to travel even in these times of economic uncertainty. They're getting on planes, they are traveling. We're still seeing strong travel demand. We're always just watching out to see whether there's more stresses on the system. But right now, we're seeing great travel demand, especially in APAC. We're seeing mid-teens growth in the last quarter. It's one of our fastest growing regions. It's an area where we're investing heavily. And just excited about where we're going. I don't know, Bangkok, where you're in right now, it's our #1 Asia destination for outbound travel into Asia is in Bangkok. People love to travel there.
Yeah, this is my first time in Southeast Asia, and much like Rafat said, I mean, I've been hanging out with him, and we've had so much fun here in Bangkok. So I can't wait to come back when I'm not working, quite frankly.
Yeah, I
Um,
took my
so
family there last year, and we had a magical trip. It was really amazing country, amazing
yes,
city.
yep. So I want to talk a little bit about set jetting, I suppose is one way to put it. We call it live tourism. And I want to talk about the White Lotus because
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you guys sick of
Yeah.
hearing about the White Lotus? I don't know. Groans, show of hands. I don't know. So White Lotus here in Thailand, I watched it. This was my favorite season, I must say. And I know that Greg's house, for all of you who watched, is on Airbnb. That's right. Yeah.
That's
How?
absolutely right. Yeah, you
Yep.
can book Greg's home. Looks like an amazing place to stay.
Is
That's where
it?
you'll
Is
have to
it?
go next time.
Yeah. Is it in Koh Samui? Is that where it is? I don't know.
I'm
Anyway.
not exactly sure exactly
Yeah.
where it is, but I know you can book it.
the the magic of TV. It doesn't need to be, right? So I'm wondering how much you're seeing with that at Airbnb, where people really are seeing television shows and movies and actually opening their wallets, getting the app out and booking stays and or experiences because of what they're seeing in popular culture. Is that
Well, I
actually?
think absolutely. Well, at a smaller level, you see it on social media, right? It's people
Yeah.
searching on TikTok, on Instagram. They're inspired to go to these amazing places. It's definitely the way Gen Z kind of thinks about the way they travel. They get inspired by that. And and then we have ways that we actually work with influencers and provide them, we have economic incentives. We'll actually do referral programs for them to actually feature things that are interesting and unique to their followers, and then show them a way that they can link back to Airbnb and share their experience or service or stay that they think is most interesting to them. I think it's
Tell
a
me
great
more
way
about that.
to reach
How
out. Yeah.
how do you work with influencers? Tell me more. That's
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, so we allow influencers to feature particular stays that they think are interesting, and then they can earn a commission for off of the stays that they recommend.
Ah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What else were you saying
No,
about the
it's just I
the
think
pop
I
culture
think you hit it
influence?
right on. It's like this, and this is why many of these iconic events, like why we feature things like Megan the Stallion, it really resonates with part of the audience that is super excited about her as a creator and musician. I mean, she's even just more than a musician, and they come to Airbnb and think, wow, these are the things. She loves ramen, so now maybe I want to do a ramen experience. Or you can do other things like, I'm excited about the work that we're doing, even as simply as the Olympics, right? We'll be hosting again the Winter Olympics in Milan here coming up next winter. And it's just an exciting time to kind of connect sports fans from around the world to go to Italy, and which I'm a big skier, so I'm excited to be seeing the Winter Olympics there.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's coming to town or to the area, I guess, on Sunday. We have some skifters who are going to see it. So I'm sure the Airbnb occupancy rate is lighting up right around there.
It is those events, right? Taylor Swift was a huge driver of demand in
Yeah.
cities all around the world. We would have significant increase, 4 or 5x increase in demand when Taylor Swift was going to come into town. And they need Airbnbs, right? You can't always accommodate the number of people that need to travel to a given city. There aren't enough hotel rooms to actually accommodate them. And sometimes people also travel in a group. They travel with their family, they travel with multiple people, so they come to Airbnb. These events are an amazing way. And I can't share all of them with you today, but I'm excited over the coming days and weeks and months, we're going to be releasing and sharing with you a number of partnerships, events, and activities that we're going to be doing around the world. It's going to be really special. So I really want you to stay
Yeah.
tuned.
So when this group of people who's sitting here in the audience with me, when Bangkok does really come online for experiences and services, what how is the experience going to be different for them when they open that app?
It's going to be
What's it going to
incredibly
look
high
like?
quality. It's going to resonate with the actual city. You're going to know and feel the best of Bangkok in that experience. It's not going to be a random activity that does not feel of the place.
And how is Airbnb selecting and vetting that then?
Well, we have teams actually on the ground in these cities all around the world that are
Yeah.
either are often proactively reaching out to the most interesting people doing the most interesting things in that community, working with them to create these experiences. These are what the Airbnb originals are. Now,
Yeah.
thankfully, we've launched it and now we can talk about it much more. And that many of these experience hosts are telling their friends because they know who's cool, interesting, and amazing in their own cities. And they're starting to recruit their friends to do the same thing. And so I think the word of mouth of this through our influencer community, through the community of our experts, is going to be the fuel that lights this up on fire.
We have a couple of questions from the audience now. How do you control and ensure the quality of the services and experiences? Is that the same team as well?
Yeah, so we do it in a number of ways. I mean, one, we just make sure that the person that is the host of the experience has the number of years of experience that differentiates them from others. Maybe what are the different awards that they might have? What are the certifications they have? Maybe they worked in a Michelin star restaurant. Maybe they have certain education background. We check on whether they have the right licenses, whether they have, we'll do background checks as appropriate in given cities. We combine all those and we do them individually for all the different services we do, all the different experiences, and make sure that we can stand behind the hosts that are on the platform. Again, it's not an open marketplace. We don't just let anyone become a host. We actually either hand select or if they are applying, we hand vet every single host on the platform.
One more question. How does Airbnb plan to manage localization issues and the law? For example, short-term rentals are illegal in Thailand without a hotel license.
Yeah. So we work with communities all around the world to follow the laws that they have put into place. We have a team on my team, it's called the cities team, that helps ensure that hosts understand what the laws are and that we can support the hosts in enforcing the laws that as they're stated.
Well, Dave, I think we are going to end it there. Thank you so much
That's
for
great.
joining us here in Bangkok, all the way from
Yeah.
Montana. Have a good day.